Now, I notice when Q goes dark, a lot of people get a little bit nervous. And when Q is dark for a while and doesn't post, you see all the shills and the trolls and everything come out. And I just want to say that Q has always told us to trust the plan. The plan was given to us for everyone to see. Everyone can look at it. Everyone can read it. Everyone can go ahead and do what they want with it. But it's there for a reason. The plan was laid out for a reason. It was to direct us, to calm us, to make us understand and know what's going on. And all these people out there, that is noise. And I do believe that Q has showed us the movie White Squall for a reason, that there were these individuals on this boat, and they were sailing, and they came up against this great storm. And these individuals, they all had to work together. They couldn't be distracted. You couldn't be distracted by something that was going over on your left or your right or anything. You had to concentrate on what you were doing. And if everyone did exactly what they were doing according to the plan, they were going to make it through the storm. I do believe this is the same exact thing. That each one of us has our part. Each one of us has our special ability. Each one of us puts out information that the other one didn't see. And then when we put it all together, we start to see the same exact message. This is not a time to go off and fight others or say, oh, it's a time to come together and work together as one. Just like the phrase says, where we go one, we go all, for a common cause. We don't have to be afraid. We don't have to wait for anything. We always have more than we know. It was given to us on purpose. Truth and transparency is the only way forward. Now, I'm going to go down the rabbit hole, and I just want everyone to remember this. It's not just me doing this. I look at all different types of information all over the place. And I just want to say to all the digital soldiers, thank you. Thank you for finding something that I missed. Thank you for looking something up and taking the time to research. Thank you for all of this. I mean, I am very grateful that today in this world, I can sit and I can look at hundreds of different people's messages that have to do with Q and the plan. And I can look at it, and a lot of times in my head, I look at it and I go, oh my God, I see what's happening here. I see the bigger picture. I'm taking it from this person, this person, this person, but they've done the research. They've narrowed it down so we can see the bigger picture. We all have our part to play. And I believe that Q and Trump and the Patriots, they wanted it this way. They wanted everyone working together. There is nothing to fear. There's nothing to be afraid of. Remember, Q has always told us that we are the news. What does that mean when Q tells us that we are the news? We're the ones who are now broadcasting to the people. We're the ones telling them what's really happening compared to what the mainstream media is doing. Actually, when I think of this, I think of we are now telling everyone what needs to be said. The mainstream media now has become the fearmongers, the agents of disinformation. And it's our job to guide everyone through this. This is why there are a lot of people working on this. It's not just one. It's not just two. There are many. Now, let's go down this rabbit hole. And remember, Q has been giving us a lot of information. And I'm just trying to make sense of this. And a lot of people have been doing a fantastic job through this entire thing. Now, we are starting to see things shut down now again from the Trump administration, from all different agencies. They are telling us there's going to be no martial law. And I don't believe there's going to be martial law, because what I see happening right now, I see governors now saying, listen, we're in either a state of emergency and we're ordering everyone to stay in their homes. That's not martial law. They're suggesting that everyone should just stay in their homes, out of harm's way. And I know Ohio has done this. I know many other states are now doing this. And I've been speaking to a lot of people from all different areas. New Jersey, Chicago, a woman that has been flying around the world. And they're saying that most of the everyday people like me, you, and everyone else, they're very calm. And seeing all of this and seeing some of the Hollywood individuals, and we'll get into that in a little bit, they seem very, very panicked. But let's start off with what the mainstream media is trying to do. Now, they are pushing fear, panic, chaos because they're fighting for their lives. The mainstream media is, the deep state is, and they are going to do this until the very end. Now, it was reported that Trump was shaking hands with the Brazilian president. He tested positive for coronavirus, and it turned out that he didn't. And they saying that Trump was down in Mar-a-Lago, and there are many people down there that had the coronavirus. Well, Trump got tested. He doesn't have it. Then they moved to Pence, saying, well, someone in his staff has coronavirus, and Pence must have coronavirus. Well, he was tested, his wife was tested, and the testing was negative for them. Now, very interestingly, like we said before, we have DHS Secretary Chad Wolf. He's saying we're not considering a national lockdown. We're getting reports that all this military equipment that you see, that is being moved from production over to bases, has nothing to do with coronavirus. Now, I'm not saying there's not an operation going on. I do believe there is an operation going on, and we'll get to that in just a minute. And I just want to go back to the post that we were talking about a couple days ago about Red Castle, Green Castle, the Army Corps of Engineers. And we know that Governor Cuomo, he has the Army Corps of Engineers in his state. Well, the Army Corps of Engineers now has been sent to 18 states to help with hospital space. So the Army Corps of Engineers, they're playing a huge part in all of this. Now, very interestingly, we had the mainstream media out there, and they were hitting against what Trump said. Now, remember, Trump mentioned chloroquine as a treatment, that there were many tests that were done, and it shows that this might work. And the mainstream media came out, and they're taking the opposite angle of this. First, let me read Trump's quote. Hydroxychloroquine and erythromycin taken together have a real chance to be one of the biggest game changers in the history of medicine. The FDA has moved mountains. Thank you. Hopefully, they will both. H works better than A. International Journal of Antimicrobial Agents. Be put in use immediately. People are dying. Move fast, and God bless everyone. Now, I do believe that Trump started this narrative. Again, with a snap of a finger, this is all going to be brought to a screeching halt at the right time. Now, the mainstream media, they're putting out articles, and this is coming out of Bloomberg, and they're trashing chloroquine as an effective drug to treat COVID-19. So they're saying that if you take too much of it, it can kill you if you take 2 full grams. Well, Don Jr. came out and he said, whoa, wait a minute. What's your point? 2 grams of caffeine can kill you too, but no one is planning on prescribing that much. He said this bullshit is why everyone hates and doesn't trust the media. They're trying to create fear for clicks with misleading and irrelevant info. You people truly suck. And this is the whole point of the mainstream media right now. This is the whole point of the deep state. This is the whole point of Hollywood and corrupt politicians. It's to push panic. It's to push fear. It's to push chaos. And they're always countering what Trump is saying. Remember, on Friday, in one of the posts, it says the pill will be hard to swallow. Well, this pill is going to be hard to swallow because the mainstream media is making it seem like it's not a real treatment. The other pill is going to be when they find out the truth. Now, very interestingly, we're noticing a lot of individuals in Congress, like Doug Collins and others, who decided to self-quarantine themselves. Then we come to find out that Rand Paul has COVID-19, and this is what he tweeted out. Senator Rand Paul has tested positive for COVID-19. He is feeling fine and is in quarantine. He is asymptomatic and was tested out of an abundance of caution due to his extensive travel and events. He was not aware of any direct contact with any infected person. Now, I do believe that these people are being removed from harm's way when the operation moves forward. And I don't know if Rand Paul was not moving out of the way, so they had to force him to move out of the way, and this is why they're reporting this. But I do believe this is why this is happening there. We also come to find out, this is coming from BNO Newsroom, German Chancellor Merkel is in self-quarantine at home after a doctor she had contact tested positive for coronavirus. Now, she received a vaccine from this doctor who tested positive. So she decided to quarantine herself. Now, remember, there are certain individuals that are going to use this to push fear, to make it seem like it's widespread, it's worse than it really is. And I also think they're going to use this as an out when everything starts to fall apart. Oh, you might read a story that so-and-so passed away from COVID-19. And I do believe at this point they are being given a choice. Either you're arrested or you can end it now. The choice is yours. But let's go back to post 2434. Now, this is an Anon who says, once you take care of yours, please help Canada. Under this, it says, the world will follow. Think Merkel. And as we can see, Merkel is now self-quarantining because her doctor who gave her a vaccine had coronavirus, playing up the narrative. If we go to post 2596, it says, "'Tis the season of treason," and brackets, bold caps, May, Merkel, Macron. Never stop fighting. Where we go one, we go all. So it seems that this is now all coming together, and we're starting to understand and realize how this is all going to play out. Now, very interestingly, Mike Pompeo, he tweeted out the following: "Come down from my office only to find that Susan and Nick have almost finished without me." Now, what is he talking about? Well, there's a picture of these two individuals putting together a puzzle. Now, we'll be talking about the puzzle pieces in just a minute, but Lisa Crowley, she tweeted out this: "The puzzle they're working on has 1,000 pieces. What a coincidence. And the puzzle is politics. White Mountain brand 1,000-piece retro-themed politics quality puzzle." And 1,000 pieces. Where did we hear that from? Well, that is from post 952. This is March 15, 2018. At 19 first. At 3 first. The link, John Perry Barlow, 234 in brackets. We have the sub, hostage release, 1,000 pieces. Now that's very interesting. And if we go to post 1402, this gives us 1401. It says, "God bless the United States of America, D5Q." And down below this it says, "What happened first? Think logically. Think Department of Justice and FBI. Think cleaning. Hashtag 64. Puzzle coming together. We have reached our cruising altitude of 40,000 feet long ago. As we prepare to land, please fasten your seatbelt and make sure your seat back and folding trays are in the full upright position." And when I look at the puzzle and I look at what's going on, it seems like this is a countdown. Once all the pieces of the puzzle are together and the puzzle is finished, boom. Then we move to post 3878. And this is a Twitter link from Brog the Frog, and it mentions Kash Patel, and it says the puzzle is coming together. So this all had to do with the puzzle. Now, very interestingly, we are now seeing certain individuals, like in the Washington Post, we have Biden and many others, saying that Trump, he is not giving truthful information. We need to counter what he is doing. Now, Biden said they're necessary to address false and misleading statements from the president. He's planning on a regular shadow briefing on coronavirus to start as early as Monday to show how he would handle the crisis and address what he calls the lies and failures of Trump. He's going to do this from his house, and he's going to do this in a live stream. So we have a citizen of the United States who's running for president, who's going to be giving daily briefings to counter everything Trump is doing. Doesn't this remind you of John Kerry when he went out to Iran and countered everything that Trump was trying to do, which was a violation of the Logan Act? So why would Biden do this? Why is he being pushed to do this? Then we have Michael Brendan Doherty. He said the following: 3 interesting details. social media giants are threatening to censor posts that conflict with the World Health Organization. Number 2, WHO rejected credible health data from Taiwan. Remember when the WHO first came out and they said, oh, human-to-human contact, it's not a big deal. It doesn't pass the coronavirus. They were completely wrong. Number 3, the WHO got Johns Hopkins data to relabel Taiwan as Taipei and environs China. Now, this is all very interesting because think about what's happening here. Biden wants to come on air, give his own presser to counter Trump. Social media giants, they're threatening to censor. And then out of the Washington Post, they have an article saying the media must stop live broadcasting Trump's dangerous, destructive coronavirus briefings. So it sounds like they want to shut him down. Now, if they go ahead and the deep state, who is controlling this, shuts him down, they don't broadcast his message, they shut him down on social media, they shut down other people on social media, the message doesn't get out. Here we can see why the emergency broadcast system or the emergency alert system comes into play. We can see how this is setting the stage already. And then we have Trump, who sent a letter to Kim Jong-un. Now, we know that Trump contacts Kim Jong-un. He formed a relationship with Kim Jong-un on purpose. Why did he send a letter saying, we will help you, we will cooperate in the area that has to do with the virus? Now, let's think about this for a second. Trump, he formed a relationship with Kim Jong-un. He walked across the DMZ from South Korea to North Korea. This was all done for a reason. And I am finding the timing once again incredible. Why is he calling on Kim Jong-un? Well, let's go to post 967. This is March 27, 2018. This is coming up, but he already sent the letter. It says, what does the house cleaning represent? We always knew. Final stage. What does North Korea represent? Threat, safeguard, insurance, poof. Kim to China represents something vital, key. Many will be buried before exposing them or themselves. In brackets, bold. Think about this for a sec. He's contacting Kim Jong-un for a specific reason. Is this for the upcoming operation? I do believe so. Now, Q yesterday posted one post, 3895, and it says, do not fear. Now, I understand why Q posted this, because a lot of people out there, they were afraid. And I don't believe we need to be afraid. I believe the Patriots are completely in control of this. And with this post gave us a YouTube link. Now, this YouTube link gives us a music video, and down below in the right corner, and this is being tweeted out by Stormy Patriot Joe, notice that it says Dark Legacy 2. And if you look up Dark Legacy 2, just a movie how the Bushes took out the Kennedys. Sure, it's a coincidence. I don't believe it is. I believe that we're heading towards a major operation. I do believe that many people think the same exact thing. Now, before we get to that, I want to talk about all these Hollywood actors and actresses putting out videos, putting them up on Twitter or YouTube, and it seems that they're sending messages. Now, a couple days ago, we talked about the Corona typewriter. Now, Tom Hanks traveled to Australia with a Corona typewriter. Madonna is typing out on a Corona typewriter. Tom Hanks also put out a tweet on the 17th of March, 1717, that had to do with the Corona typewriter. Now, this is very interesting because we're starting to see many of these individuals break down. Now, I'm not going to play every single video. You can go ahead and you can get these videos. You can come to the X22 report, click on the report title, and you can go to the bottom and you can see all the videos. And if you want to play them yourself, you can. But Mike Bravo, he decided to summarize all of this so we can understand what is going on here. He said, somebody from the Chans caught this. It's excellent breakdown of David Spade and the Ellen Show comms. I'll put the source in the thread so you can see Sweaty Ellen trying to figure it out. Now, let me begin the tweet thread. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, March 12th at 21:12 p.m. This is when they told everyone they had it. Then we have Ellen, March 16th at 14:42 p.m. Thread about doing a puzzle. Long story short, she doesn't figure it out. So she takes out a puzzle and she's trying to figure out how to put the puzzle pieces together, but she can't figure out what is going on. Then we have Madonna on March 17th at 12:45 with a Corona typewriter. And this is Quarantine Diaries. So she sends a message on the 17th about Corona. Then we have Tom Hanks, March 17th, 17:17 p.m., Corona typewriter sending another message. Then we have Ellen on March 17 at 18:54 p.m. wearing a Wilson shirt. Rita Wilson, Tom's wife, volleyball from Castaway, sending a message. Then we have David Spade on March 17th at 01:03 a.m. Where's Tom Hanks? Get him in a glass box. Now, in this video, he says, well, if we find out that Tom Hanks is okay, then we're all going to be okay. That's very interesting. And then we had the whole thing with Oprah about her being arrested, and that did not turn out to be true whatsoever. Then we had Ellen, March 18th, 14:37. She does a card trick, and she can't figure out the card trick, but she's wearing a sweatshirt that says, run, Forrest, run. And then she does the trick, and she says, well, I'm supposed to do this and that, and the card's supposed to change. And she says to David Spade, it doesn't change. It didn't work. So whatever she tried to do or whatever was going on did not work. Then we have David Spade on March 19th, 1933, says Lego Man and note to Hanks. Fans comment with favorite joke below. Also, Tom Hanks, please comment that you're okay. So it seems that we haven't heard from Tom Hanks. Then we have Madonna, who's doing a fish fry dance. So she says, living in special times, thank God for imagination and fried fish. Now that's very interesting because fried fish in the Urban Dictionary is like orgies and things like that. So then we move to Ellen on March 20th, 18:23 p.m. And she's in a yellow sweatsuit. It looks like a prison uniform. And she's holding up a sign. And keys added to table, reaching out to other handlers for help. Says, your turn, please respond. I checked, no tweets in response. Then we have Madonna, March 20th, 1926 p.m., talking about life and death decisions on her Corona typewriter. Now, once again, these are just strange messages that are being passed back and forth. And then we have Madonna's latest video where she's saying that it doesn't matter who you are, it's going to come for you. Now, people are taking it as, well, are you saying that you were better than us and that you can't believe you're going to get it? That we're all the same in reality? But she also says something else that's very interesting in the video. If the ship goes down, we all go down together. Now, it seems like there's a lot of messages going back and forth, which are very interesting. And I do believe that Trump has been sending messages during his presser. Now, DOQ tweeted out this, and this is Doc Holliday. I believe POTUS is talking to all of us Anons here in this clip via comms. What do you think? Take a listen to what Trump said.
That are thinking about nothing other than this invisible enemy. They have done such an incredible job, and they will continue, and we're going to win, and there'll be a lot of celebration when we win. And we're going to win with as few lives lost as possible. That's the game. Win with as few lives lost as possible. It's a tough enemy. It's a tough killer. Far bigger, far more vicious than ever before.
Now, if you listen to Trump, we're fighting this invisible enemy. We want as few to die because that's the game. And we're going after this enemy. Not the virus, but an enemy. That is very interesting. Now, let's take everything that we talked about and start to put all of this together and what I do believe is coming next. Now, Tim P. Min tweeted out the following. I think I found the keystone. It is March 11th when POTUS addressed the nation prime time. Tim refers us back to post 269. This is December 5th, 2017. It says, Key unlocks the door of all doors. Info. Stone, the force, strength capable of yielding power to act on info. Key plus stone. Now, what's very interesting is that these two posts we've read before. And it says, if you then go back, Q had told us exactly when this was happening, starting 11.3, or as we would say, March 11th. Remember I said these weren't the real dates? Completed on April 10th and actionable on a new world on April 11th, but it says 11.4. So let me just read this post again. This is post 34. This is November 1st, 2017. My fellow Americans, over the course of the next several days, you will undoubtedly realize that we are taking back our great country, the land of the free, from the evil tyrants that wish to do us harm and destroy the last remaining refuge of a shining light. On POTUS's order, we have initiated certain fail-safes that shall safeguard the public from the primary fallout which is slated to occur 11.3 upon the arrest announcement of Mr. Podesta, actionable 11.4. So that's March 11th, completed on April 10th, actionable on April 11th. Let me continue. Confirmation to the public of what is occurring will then be revealed and will not be openly accepted. Public riots are being organized in serious numbers in an effort to prevent the arrest and capture of more senior public officials. On POTUS's order, a state of temporary military control will be actionable and special ops carried out. False leaks have been made to retain several within the confines of the United States to prevent extradition and special operator necessities. Rest assured, the safety and well-being of every man, woman, and child of this country is being exhausted in full. However, the atmosphere within the country will unfortunately be divided, as so many have fallen for the corrupt and evil narrative that has long been broadcast. We will be initiating the emergency broadcast system during the time in an effort to provide a direct message, avoiding the fake news to all citizens. Organizations and or people that wish to do us harm during the time will be met with a swift fury. Certain laws have been pre-lifted to provide our great military the necessary authority to handle the conduct these operations at home and abroad. So, once again, we know that Biden, the Post, they're all saying, let's censor Trump. And I do believe that Trump is going to broadcast to bypass all of that. Then we go to post 35. Now remember, April 10th, 20. The ban on Europe is lifted on April 10th, 20. Those are Trump's initials. And in this post, it says POTUS will be well insulated, protected on Air Force One and abroad. Specific locations classified. While these operations are conducted due to the nature of the entrenchment, it is time to take back our country and make America great again. Let us salute and pray for the brave men and women in uniform who will undertake this assignment to bring forth peace, unity, and return power to the people. It is our hope that this message reaches enough people to make a meaningful impact. We cannot yet telegraph this message through normal methods for reasons I'm sure everyone can understand. File the questions from the previous thread and remain calm. The primary targets are within D.C. and remain at the top on both sides. The spillover in the streets will be quickly shut down. Look for more false flags, stay alert, be vigilant, and above all, please pray. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes him shall not perish, but have eternal life. Love is patient, love is kind. God bless my fellow Americans. So, right there, it's telling us that on March 11th, by the way, March 11th is when the WHO said this is a global pandemic. Everything began on that date. I want to take this one step further. And if we look at post 32, let me just read it and you'll understand what I'm saying. Maybe one day, but it cannot go slow. The initial wave will be fast and meaningful. It will send a signal to others immediately, and you'll see the tide turn. Not even the mainstream media can hide, and rest assured, some will be jailed as deep cover agents. So, if they went out and they arrested one or two in the cabal and their network of bad actors, well, it would be ignored or downplayed by the mainstream media. The story would be spun. What Q is saying this has to happen in one fell swoop, that it is so big it cannot go unnoticed and will shock the nation and the world. And then I want to take us to post 44, because I do believe that Trump and the Patriots, they want us to look for a message. Now, this is very, very interesting. It says, before POTUS departs on Friday, he will be sending an important message via Twitter. God bless. Now again, which Friday is this going to be? Is it going to be this Friday coming up, the Friday after? But I do believe it's going to happen, if it's going to happen, in this time frame. Then let's go to post 55. Q actually tells us what to look for on Twitter. Look to Twitter. Exactly this, and this is in quotes. My fellow Americans, the storm is upon us. God bless. I do believe that we're watching this plan unfold. To go to this length of having the entire country shut down, where people are being ordered to stay in their homes, not under martial law. The governors, yes, they're coming out saying, you know something, I believe that everyone should stay in their homes. Actually, some places are even putting curfews on their citizens in certain states. But this is not just happening in the United States. This is happening worldwide. I do believe this operation that we're watching, it just can't be a coincidence that it's all happening at the same time. And Trump is continually talking about an invisible enemy that's deadly. This storm that we're watching right now is unfolding in front of our eyes. And I just want to take it one other step, because it's all starting to make sense, at least the way I'm seeing it. Now, we know that April 10th is Good Friday. It's also Trump's initials, 4/10/20. And what's very interesting is that Q keeps on telling us it's going to be biblical. Well, don't we have Good Friday, and then Sunday is Easter? This is going to be biblical. Isn't this a rebirth? Isn't this something new? Aren't we seeing this all unfold now? Aren't the pieces coming together? And when you start to put it all together in all the pieces, with Pompeo with the puzzle, with the Hollywood actors and actresses talking to each other in the way they're talking, and how panicked they feel, and the way Trump keeps on talking about this invisible enemy, and how all the dates are lining up, this, to me at least, and to what a lot of people are looking at right now, is a major operation. And it seems that it's all coming together. And I don't believe they would be doing all of this. Everything that we're seeing with the United States being locked down, with and I don't mean lockdown martial law, I mean everyone stay home, everyone be protected. We don't want a false flag. We're trying to minimize damage. We're not just seeing it here, but we're seeing it worldwide, all at the same time. And they have dates. And Trump has said from the beginning that he believes that this is going to be all over and done with by mid-April. And he already started the narrative for a cure. We know it's going to cure it. And with a snap of a finger, the whole thing disappears. But it is presented to the world of what really took place. I do believe that we're watching all of this happen at the same time. We're just waiting for the word from Trump on Twitter to say, this is the storm.